Hello everyone, how you doing? It's Jordan here. Now today we're taking a look at Cogen, Sword of Rewind, a side-scrolling action game from Gem Drops. Let's take a look. Cogen Sword of Rewind is a pretty cool name, although every time I see it or say it, I can't help but think of Steve Coogan. Cogen Sword of Rewind, as though it stars Alan Partridge or something, which I think we can all admit would probably be an entirely different but completely better game. Not that Cogen Sword of Rewind isn't great, it's just not Alan Partridge, and I can't forgive it for that. Joking aside, this is a pretty sweet action side-scrolling platformer, something which is a blessing on the Switch right now. I recently reviewed The Company Man, and I'm almost certainly going to make a video about Gunvolt Chronicles Luminous Avenger X2, if I can be bothered to keep saying that name, maybe tomorrow if I have the time. So yeah, all these action games, pretty high quality coming in at once. It's a good time to be an action side-scrolling fan. Now a lot of people have compared Cogen to a Mega Man X-like game, which is probably fair, but this review is coming from someone who's not really played much of those games. I sampled them on the Switch collection, especially the early ones, but they didn't really click for me, so this review is going to be free of unnecessary comparisons. And I say that just as I compared this game to a theoretical game about Alan Partridge. Great start to the review. So this side-scrolling action game has most of the mechanics you'll see in the genre standards. You have a sword which can attack, and you have slightly different moves depending on which direction you're pressing at the same time. You have a backdash which can help you pass through electricity for some reason. A forward dash which you'll most certainly need to be getting on with the copious amounts of deadly platforming and hazards to bypass quickly. Enemies consist of a small variety of robots, some of which will be close-up attackers, while the more fiendish enemies will shoot from a distance, but their projectiles can be repelled back to them. Each individual enemy isn't particularly challenging on its own, but Cogen does enjoy throwing multiple varieties at you at once, where you have to make a very snap decision of how to tackle them all at the same time. Which one do you prioritize first, and so on. The game loves to surprise you, and some may call this like Twitch gameplay, whereas someone who's more mature, such as myself, might call it cheap as fuck. Yes, it does enjoy surprising you, and you'll probably die of unexpected things more often than not. But it's not that bad because you do have a little gimmick up your sleeve to help you. The sword I mentioned, oh by the way, it's sentient, yeah, and guess what? It can help turn back the hands of time, which thankfully has got nothing to do with R. Kelly, although it'd be pretty useless for him, as this sword can only turn back time 3 seconds. That dude would need an entire lifetime to make up for his choices. You're definitely going to need those 3 seconds because this game is balls hard at times, even with the cheese of changing your balls ups. Because to stop the game from being mundane and spamming the rewind, thankfully, those 3 seconds can't be continually abused. Insert second R. Kelly joke. Topical. You need time to recharge your power, and if you run out of it, well, if you die, then you'll actually die and have to start from a previous checkpoint, of which I had to do many times, oh my god. While the gameplay here can be pretty smooth and badass, and a few tweaks here and there with your rewinding time gimmick making you feel like a real master, quite a bit of the time, you're going to be panicking and flailing around like an idiot trying to delay your inevitable death rather than circumventing it. Yeah, sometimes there's just so much crap going on, you'll often wonder how on earth you were supposed to survive. This time thingy-mabob really is a double-edged sword because it can be really sweet at times but also frustrating in equal measure. It might have been better if you could actually decide with precision where and when you want time to recommence. As it is, you basically have one chance to pick the perfect spot because as soon as you let go of that rewind button, bam, you're back in the action. I'd have much preferred it if you could scan through those 3 seconds in order to pick your perfect point. And you don't want to go all the way back because if you don't have at least 1 second of free time left, well then you're dead. There's also times when the game specifically chooses to drain you of your powers, especially when using the gimmick to make platforms raise for a period. One tiniest of error and you're gone. It is a little bit cheap at times, yes. But like I said, it is a fairly tough game, but I really enjoyed it. But it also frustrated me in equal measure. What I would like to advise you guys is to go on the eShop and download the demo. Yes, there is a demo for this, and you can really get a feel for how it's going to be for you. Play through those missions a couple of times, and you'll see if you're up to it. See if you can gel with it, because it really does a fine job of getting you in the zone and explains most of the concepts to you in just a couple of stages. It also eases up on the story, which frankly was kind of underwhelming for me in this game, mainly due to the constant interruptions here, especially during the early levels where it's just stop, start all the time. It reminds me of the AVGN retrospective on some of the Mega Man games where he's begging the game just to let him move. I think they may have taken inspiration for this game because there's obvious Mega Man X inspirations here. Even I can see it, even if I don't play those games. Now, this game is available physically for both the Switch and PS4, but only in certain regions and circumstances, so limited run games are handling this in North America. So it's somewhat limited, and if you're watching this in the future, then you're probably out of luck, unless you want to pay high third-party prices like on eBay or whatever. There is a standard and collector's edition. There's also a Japanese physical release which does play in English, which is much more future-proof. I'm sure you'll be able to find this pretty easy in the future. Maybe not the collector's edition, but the standard edition should be around for a good while. If you want to pick up the Japanese version, and you want to support us at the same time, then consider checking the links below in the description and the pinned comment. If you click those links and purchase it, it supports us in what we do. Plus, you can get a very nice 5% off with our current discount code, GETPhysical. That's all one word, GETPhysical, for 5% off when checking out at PlayAsia. This code is available for a good while, but it will change eventually. If you're in the future, then the code might be different, so please check out the description or watch the latest episode in the Let's Get Physical series where I'll be sure to mention the current code. There is a playlist ready and waiting for you at the end of this video. This game is also available digitally, of course, $25 in the US, €25 in Europe, and £22.50 in the UK. There is digital eShop credit in the description if you want to support us in that way too. There is some decent production value gone into this. There's some really fantastic pixel art here, for the characters at least. The enemy is pretty by the books. I like the animation, but you know, their designs aren't anything special. But then again, the bosses, absolutely fantastic. The backgrounds can also be really gorgeous at times, rather impressive. The music is also pretty well done, although after failing so hard in the same areas over and over again, the music did kind of annoy me after a while, but that's just my temperament. Overall, when it clicks, it's fantastic. When you're in the zone, it's fantastic. When everything's going smoothly, it's a pretty kick-ass game. But it does get a bit too scrappy at times, a bit too fiddly for its own good. But I can see those who love to master games such as this having a great time with it for its time mechanics. I think some sections will be a bit too tough for some though, so if your skills aren't up to scratch, or if you're past the age of 30 when you suddenly become a moron for some reason, you're gonna need a bit of patience. But I do think this could have done with being a little bit more balanced. As it stands, this game is gonna piss you off more times than R. Kelly's pissed on. And I think the demo and the eShop can give you a really great idea as to whether this game is for you or not. The boss battles on there will definitely set you up for the rest of the game. It's a 7.5 out of 10. It could have been great, but it is a little bit too scrappy at times. Alright, thanks for watching this review of Cogen Sword of Rewind. If you want to purchase the Japanese physical, please consider using the links below in the description and pinned comment to support us. Big thanks to our executive producers, Dane Wilkinson, God of Resin, Boombox, Brent McLean, Jonathan Rumor, Santa Tartaruga, Alexander Cato, Jcrat7776, Elissa, Punky Dooster, Michael Del Polito, Cartoon Soren, Robotech Z, Raven Knight, Thorn Metal Luna, Parsnip Coffee, Government Fat Cat, Issa, V, Mental Traveler, and Grant Sir. Plus you, yeah, you watching right now. If you watched all the way through, you are a legend of the highest order because you help us grow. Give me a sword emoji in the comments so I know who the legends are amongst you, and I'll give you one back. Please check out some of our other stuff. Monday Physicals video to keep up to date with our latest discount code, digital bargains on Sunday, and see you tomorrow for Gunvolt Chronicles Luminous Avenger IX2. If I can be bothering with it, I see it just puts me off. Every time I say it, I can't speak. I turn into a moron. I'll see you guys over there. Have a good one.